Hope everyone's having a great day so far. This is the first episode of my road to Essence of Finality. Hope you guys enjoy. There's a lot of progress made this video, and I hope to bring some high level bosses soon. But until then, just gonna be working on making that money. Enjoy the video. All right, so we start today's video off with a little bit of a Raxor. Nothing really came from this boss. There's not really too much to say about it. This is my first few kills actually. I just wanted to practice a Raxor. Most of these are pretty low in rage, but I did include a clip of my first 100% kill. Like I said, I'm not a very good bosser, and I'm not going to ever claim to be, but this clip you're going to see right here, this is my first 100% in rage, and as you can see, there's a lot of things that I can improve on, such as hitting my prayer flicks, and just really my threshold usage. It could really improve a lot, and focus less on eating and more on surviving, and dealing damage. And what I'm coming to learn is the more damage you do, the better you off are on the boss. So yeah, but this wasn't too awful difficult. And just a note for the future, from here on, there's not going to be any voiceover clips like I'm doing here. I just really needed to record, and I was listening to stuff in the background, had to remove the audio. And I'm going to know not to do that in the future. That way I can record real-time voiceover rather than doing one post video recording and editing. But yeah, we're just waiting for this. There's no drops. I didn't get any from Araxor. And really, I was kind of dry at majority of the bosses. I did, however, get a couple of notable drops you'll see later on in the video. They weren't anything special by any means. You see, I almost died there. That was a little bit ridiculous because I wasn't hitting those perflicts. And also, that little smoke orb that follows you around is kind of a pain in the butt to me. I know Araxor's been out for a long time, but I just never really got around to doing it because I was in the process of finishing up my max cape and doing all that fancy stuff. And also, I went to old school, played old school for a long time. And then I just recently decided to come back to RS3. And I've been enjoying it quite a bit. I don't think I'm going to be leaving anytime soon. I think one of my ultimate goals is to get the completionist cape, which is going to be a big grind. I mean, I was pretty miserable doing archaeology, I will say. But there was a couple of glows here. Corporal Beast. I just had it as a Reaper task, I believe, if I remember correctly. Yes, I did have a Reaper task there. Just including a few of the clips of the kills here. Nothing real notable. I was a little bit frustrated how much the regen bracelets are in RuneScape 3. I know they're completely useless. I mean, they are just outrageously useless in RuneScape 3. But I was still, I was kind of wondering why an Onyx bracelet would be worth 120k. Actually, to be honest, I know exactly why. Because you get drops from Corporal Beast, and it's, dropped quite often. People kill Corp quite a bit as well. I know with the Old Light Coil and Masterwork Spear, you can do pretty good work. You can pretty well AFK Corp. Which is kind of crazy because when I was first playing it and all this fancy stuff wasn't out, Corp was one of the tougher bosses. I would get 1 to 2 kills in inventory and have to bank. But nowadays, with all this gear and the way abilities work and people are learning abilities really well, things have just improved drastically. Kill times, DPS, all that fancy stuff. So, here at Nex, I just do a couple of kills at Nex here. This is actually one of my solos, I believe. Yes, it's going to be one of my solos. I didn't get any loot from Nex soloing. And I'm also not the best at soloing Nex yet. My DPS is just not good enough for Blood Phase. I really need to get a couple of upgrades to be able to do that, or it could just be me and using Revolution. A lot of people tell me to go full manual. I just can't do it. I don't know. It's just something I don't have, I'm not used to doing that yet. I'm really not. Like, I'm just coming back to RS3 after clicking and sitting there waiting for something to die. That's how you play old school. And do something over and over and over and over and over again. And, I mean, in that aspect, RuneScape 3 is the same. Okay? You do things over and over and over again until you get lucky. You get done what you want done. But, it is what it is, man. I tried a second solo here, and I think I finished this one as well. I didn't get anything from this. There's a few team kills that did as well. I don't remember exactly. I was on a next stint there for a little while. and they turned out pretty well. I've only got a couple of drops in almost 150 kills, I believe is how much I've done since coming back. But here's some more Raxor. I think the week changed over on this. And of course, I didn't really get much of anything. Raxor, I haven't done enough kills, really, to know. I think I've only done like 15 or 20 racks at this point. But, you know, none of the drops were really noteworthy except for, I believe I got an Onyx from 1 kill. Or, no, I did not get an Onyx from 1 kill. I got that from Calgarian Demons, which you'll see later on. There's a lot of drops that I missed the recording on, but that's just because they were, you know, super quick, and I just wasn't paying enough attention to know that I need to record it. And this clip right here is kind of interesting. I decided to do a little bit of Slayer, and this is actually a longer clip, but I got 2 keys to the crossing almost back to back. I think there was like 4 or 5 kills in between. I was on task, of course, but I didn't realize how good a loot these corrupted workers were. They're pretty decent, I will say. I think I made somewhere between 3 and 4 mil from this task. And I've never killed these before. Like I said, they released the 120 Slayer update prior to me coming back, and I just missed it all. But I believe this is the kill that I got the second Keith Crossing one. There might have been 6 kills in between, maybe 7. I'm not really sure. I wasn't counting, but there it is. Yeah, that was the one. There's 2 keys of the crossing right back to back. Well, not back to back. Never mind. You know what? I'm just going to stop right there because it's not worth talking about anymore. So there's the loot. What is it? 1.4, I think is what it says, or 2.4. Something around there. They're pretty decent. I didn't really use any supplies there. And then I just wanted to do QBD. Just want to do a couple of kills. Nothing came of that as well. QBD is kind of garbage for just about anything. Can't really make too much money there anymore. And most of the drops range between 60 and 120k. It's a really good mid-level boss, but once you're into high-tier bossing, you really just can't make much out of it. That's currently my Reaper assignment, and I've been working on them today, but it's kind of a drag to do them. And these Stone Spirits, I feel like they haunt PVMers. Like, it is one of the worst drops you can get in either drop tables, and I plead on stream all the time, Jagex, please remove them from the drop tables. That's not going to happen. They come in and they replace some of the gear drops that they had before. But there's loot from a Slayer task. Which Slayer task was that? I don't exactly remember, but it's Calgarians. You can see I've got the Onyx in my inventory. That's right. I had got it to kill before. And here you're going to see a couple of stream clips. I think I was just doing some Slayer or some kind of bossing. Oh, I think I did maybe Kree or something. I don't remember. This was from Grigorovich. So I recently learned Mikeru's AFK method of Grigorovich, and it works really well. And that was a unique that I just got there as dormant animacore legs. I had already got those from a different boss, so they're already in the collection log, unfortunately, and they're really not worth anything at all, which kind of sucks, but, you know, I just had to show you guys a few clips of Grigorovich here. It's working pretty well, but one of the notable drops I got this video, which was very boosting to the bank, was one from Grigorovich, okay, and his glaives are worth a pretty decent amount for how easy the boss is. Like, he just drops some really good overall loot. You get those Stone Spirits every now and again. Here it is again, haunting me. I actually did an hour today, and over half of my drops were Stone Spirits, which is unfortunate. I only made about 3.5 mil that hour. But is the glaive not in there? Okay, so I got an offhand glaive drop. I guess I didn't record it. This is a price check is what this is. I'm currently price checking everything that's in the tab. So it's coming along quite a bit. So yeah, you can see the glaive there at the bottom right of the loot tab there. It's worth 17.5, 17.6, somewhere around there. It was a really good drop, and it really boosted up the tab a little bit. But we're set up totally here. Again, I had to remove some of the audio because there's music playing in the background that, you know, YouTube wouldn't be too awful happy about. if you know what I mean. These censors are ridiculous. Copyrights and whatnot. I know Twitch doesn't like it either, but most of the time I'll play it anyway. Anyway, the total of this price check comes to 40 mil. So we're just over 40 mil with the loot tab currently. And things are going pretty good. I'm looking to break into other bosses. Like my Reaper assignments, they're working really well. I actually got assigned Legions as a Reaper task earlier. I went ahead and skipped those because I think those are a really bad idea for the series here, because that's like a long-term investment moneymaker, and I'm not even sure you make money making an Ascension crossbow, because the last time I checked, depending on how many keys you have to use to get in there, you know, you could spend well over, you know, 20-30 mil on keys alone, and that's on the low side, you know. So you got to kind of be careful when it comes to those. Now, if you're making it from scratch, that's a whole different story. But making an Ascension from scratch is a big job. Big job. But anyway, we're coming close to the end of the video here. So, like I said, it broke 40 mil. And it just feels real good. Alright guys, hope you all enjoyed the first episode of this. There's a lot more to come. It's going to be a nice, drawn-out series, as I'm not getting one build drops, you know. I'm not doing those big bosses like ED3. I'm not getting an Eldritch crossbow. I could go do that, could learn ED3 and get it done in a video, but what's the interesting thing in that? I'd like to do some lower-tier bosses, just so you can see it's doable even on the lower-tier bosses. I'm also throwing in some clue scrolls as well. That last clip you've seen, there's no voiceover for it, unfortunately, but I was completing a few hard clues, and I got a couple of fortunate components there at the end of it, which would just be the magic combo, and I believe there's a rune H something plate leg that, you know, kind of makes it, or maybe a rune gold plate leg, I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm not going to make this too awful long. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below if you enjoyed it, and make sure that you're notified of the next one. You have a good night.